letting it play for a little bit as always. Ladies and gentlemen, don't adjust your screens. I know there's only one of us. Welcome to another episode of the Straub Bro Sports Show. I am, as always, Ken Straub. No Andrew Straub, as you see on the screen. Why? There's no technical difficulties. I know we're a little used to those at some point, but no, this week is a very important week. Little bro has finals next week. So we gave him this week and next week off. We gave him this week to prep for finals, and we gave him, obviously, next week off for finals. So as I throw it up on the scroll, I put it down there for you. For those of you who don't know, because it's easier to talk about him when he's not here, Little Bro is working on his 5th-year program. He's in the 5th year of his 5-year program. He's taking finals. He's going for aerospace engineering. He's got a minor in mechanical engineering or some other kind of engineering. He sends me homework. It looks like hieroglyphics. I'm not the brains of the family. So, Little Bro, I know you're going to be tuning in. I know you're going to be watching. Everybody here at the Straub Bro Sports Show, everybody here at the 2-1 Sports Network, wishing you all kinds of love this week, bro. As I put it down at the bottom, you got this. As I send you the text message before you take all of your finals, I'm sending you the same message through here. Do what you do. Go in and kill it. You got this. You're the smart guy. Love you, bro. But in your absence, we are going to hold it down. I got this. I'm going to ride it solo. I'm going to drive us. I'm going to keep us on the road, and we're going to have some fun today. Check in with me in the comments. We're going to have lots of fun today. I'm going to interact with you guys back and forth as we go. Absolutely. Like Mom says, good luck, Drew. We love you. Mom, I already know you're here. You ride with me. So let's go. Like I said, welcome to the 216 Sports Network. Welcome to the Straub Bro Sports Show. You know what we do here. Before we get rolling on my show, though, I want to give some love. The 500th episode of the Ruler's Minute, formerly known as the Sports Minute with Rico McGee, is coming up. I know all the details. I'm not spoiling any, but it's finally coming up. It's coming to fruition. So that's coming at you soon, as is Crunch Time with Ken and Mel. I've been very secretive about this crunch thing that I keep mentioning. It's really awesome. Like, I cannot wait for you guys to see it. I really don't want to spoil too much. I don't know what I'm exactly allowed to say. So, until then, we'll see what happens. I also want to give a big shout out to Mel. Mel came on with me and Little Bro, this past Saturday when we did our Straub Bro Sports Show live college preview show. He was in with us. Mel came in. He talked some Ohio State, Michigan with us, and he made some picks with us. Go to the YouTube page, 216 Sports Network YouTube page. Go to playlist. Click the Straub Bro Sports Show. You'll see us. We got our own little playlist. Check in on that last one with Mel. It was really fun. So without further ado, no buts. Without further ado, let's roll on the Straub Bro Sports Show. First thing we're going to do, we got to hit the news and notes this week. And those are as follows. The first thing is Shedeur Sanders of Colorado apparently has a fracture in his back. It's being reported. Get well soon, Shedeur. We all want to see you back on the field. But we also had a lot of hirings this week. There's been some firings last week, and we're starting to hire this week. First thing is first. Texas A&M hired Duke coach Mike Elko, which I actually really like this. It's an underrated hire, honestly. If he takes the same rebuild that he did at Duke and he takes it to a place like Texas A&M and he takes that mentality and you sprinkle in Texas A&M's money and Texas A&M's recruit, they could be a player ASAP. So we'll see what happens there. Michigan State hired Oregon State coach Jonathan Smith. I also think this is a good hire. You got a guy who runs a clean program. He can deal with the media. Two really major things that Michigan State needs right now. He was 34-35 over 6 seasons. It is fair pointing out it's a sub 500 record at Oregon State, though. I mean, it is a hard place to recruit and play. But 6 years with that record, back-to-back 8-win seasons. So another head coaching hire I like for Michigan State. Not the only one. Mississippi State hires Oklahoma offensive coordinator Jeff Lebby to be their head coach. When you talk about an offensive coordinator with a high-powered offense, talk about an offense that scored 50 or more 14 times since 2019. Okay, like this guy can run a program, or I should say, not run a program. This guy can run an offense. Let's see if he can run a program, and let's see if he can recruit in the SEC. Recruiting at Oklahoma is not the same as recruiting at SEC Yes, I know Oklahoma is now coming to the SEC, but nonetheless, Arkansas hires Bobby Petrino back as their offensive coordinator. This is kind of funny, and if you see me smirking here, I'm glad that the screen's a little smaller. If you know anything about this hire, it's a little funny because Bobby Petrino was once the head coach of Arkansas. Except he then had a relationship with a student who graduated. He lied, got her a job. They got into a motorcycle accident. Everyone found out he was lying. So Bobby Petrino took some time off, went somewhere else. Now has been back. Has already said he would like to right those wrongs. So we'll see what Bobby does there at Arkansas. Also, Oregon State promotes defensive coordinator Trent Bay to head coach. Not surprising to see them push from within. And it's being rumored, so we should talk about it. Although we've been kind of riding on him and getting on Jimbo Fisher, it is being rumored everywhere that Vanderbilt is in line to hire Jimbo Fisher. Now, the other big news of the college football week that doesn't involve the rankings, that doesn't involve the on-field play that has happened, that's the transfer portal. Transfer portal is a very, very big thing now. So we need to talk about it because some notable players have jumped in to that transfer portal. Those being Duke quarterback Riley Leonard, Texas A&M quarterback Max Johnson, Kansas State quarterback Will Howard, Houston quarterback Nate Johnson, Baylor quarterback Blake Sheppin, Iowa quarterback Spencer Petras, Miami quarterback Tyler Van Dyke, Mississippi State quarterback Will Rogers, and Notre Dame wide receiver / running back Chris Tyree. Little bro, how do you feel about that? Still going to toss it up so I can use it. Those are some bigger names. There's going to be more. Actually, today broke that DJ Ungalale, got it, without you, bro, of Oregon State is actually entering the transfer portal as well. That one's a little scary for me just because normally, as you see with a lot of these quarterbacks on this list, Miami, yes, a big program. Iowa, yes, but there's clear steps that can be taken forward, even at a guy at Texas A&M. There are programs that go up. DJ Ungalale was at Clemson, then moved to Oregon State, and is now moving again. That kind of scares me when a guy has already been at a top program and is kind of bouncing around. But we'll see where these guys all end up. Notre Dame is in running for a quarterback as Sam Hartman is graduating. So maybe potentially one of these guys shows up there. Give me 1 second as I let all of the people know that we are live. I mean, who doesn't know? But I gotta tell everybody else too. Come check us out. Yes. Okay. Now that we got through the news and notes, we got to hit the other most important story of the week. That would be the shakeups in the top 6. Yes, there was some. Let's put those back up. Let's get my face out of there and teams in there. The first one, come a little closer so we can get a little bit more intimate. The first being number 1, Georgia stays at number 1. No problems there. But with the shakeups, we have number 2, Michigan. We have Washington now at number 3. Florida State moves back up to 4. Oregon pushes up to 5. And yes, you see it there. Ohio State takes a dip down into number 6. Now, I don't have an issue with this. I'm not going to lie. We have said from the get-go that the top 6 in these college football playoffs were going to take care of itself. It's taking care of itself, as you clearly see. Georgia will play Alabama. Washington and Oregon are going to play for a spot. Florida State is going to play for a spot. So these things are taking care of themselves. So I'm not surprised about this. I'm not going to get too in-depth on what happened because we're going to hit that in our review. So, but as you see, there's your top 6. And it's not just about the top 6. Here's your rest of the best. Obviously, Texas, Alabama, Missouri hanging in there. Penn State, Ole Miss, Oklahoma down in the 12. LSU in the 13. Louisville, after a tough loss, drops to 14. That would be Arizona at 15, Iowa 16, Notre Dame, Oklahoma State, NC State, Oregon State, Tennessee, our guys down at Tulane, Clemson at 23, undefeated Liberty still hanging in there, and Kansas State rounding out the top 25. Kansas State taking a hit after their loss as well. Everybody knows what it's time for. Same thing we do. Obviously, little bro, I don't got you. So I'm driving solo today, all right? Which is fine. I kind of like it that way. I get my own music. Not that we don't share taste in music, but I got this. Okay. A theme for this review week. I'm going to talk about the games, obviously, but we're looking forward to next year as well. You know, not everybody's in the college football playoffs. Not everybody cares about their bowl game as much as other teams will or should. So one of the things I also want to hit on towards the end on some of these other teams are draft classes, where their 2023 draft class was the freshmen that they had just brought in, and their 2024 class going ahead. That 2024 class has not been completely solidified in a lot of places, so we will see. We'll see where those end up. But I want to touch on those as we go, so we can kind of see long-term view into next year before we're even previewing next year, where some of those teams are. So let's get to our first game. That would be Liberty and UTEP. Liberty 42, UTEP 28. 21 first quarter points helped move the Flames to the Conference USA Championship game. Liberty did it with 28 total passing yards. I'm letting that sit for a second. 28 total passing yards. However, Liberty ran for a season high 441 yards and 5 touchdowns. This is the first undefeated season in Liberty's 50-year program history. Shout out to you. You're not an honorary Straub of the week. You're not getting the chest bump. We're still going to give you some major love and major dap. They're the third team in Conference USA to go 12-0. The 98 Tulane team and the 2011 Hughes team being those other two. Hey, bro, you want to keep it rolling? Let's keep it rolling. Arizona 59, Arizona State 23, a rivalry game that was not a game. It was a close game in the first quarter. It was 10-7, and then 28 points in the second and 14 in the third propelled the Wildcats to a big win as they outscored Arizona State 42-8 in those two quarters. I'm gonna get all with you today. I'm all over the place. You can see all of me today. My Wildcats are dangerous. Okay, they're in form now, and next year they're gonna be something. Okay, let's talk about our guy Noah Fafita. 527, 5 touchdowns, and 1 interception. I'm going to sprinkle it now because I wanted it. Lewis Riddick beat me to the point on X Twitter. This is a Heisman hopeful for next year. Noah Fafita, Wildcats, Heisman hopeful next year, potential top 12, trying to fight in for the playoff team. Already said it. Already calling it. Let's keep it going. Oh, I also want to point out, if whatever team has to play Arizona in a bowl game, excuse me, whoever has to play Arizona in a bowl game, look out. Another game, and the best part about this college football Saturday, and I did fail to mention, is I got to watch it with little bro next to me. So I actually wish this is the worst week to have finals, because we got to see all these games together. We got to push and shove each other and punch each other every time there was an interception or a touchdown. So this was one that we tried to put on one of the bigger screens, and it just, that would be Tennessee and Vanderbilt. Tennessee 48, Vanderbilt 24. Vandy tried so hard to make this a game early on. They really did. But the offense could not get rolling whatsoever when it needed it when it needed it early on. My bad. And by close, when I say the game was close, it was 7-7. Vandy forced 2 straight punts at 7-7, but like I said, they couldn't get the offense sputtering. The offense just sputtered. They could not get the offense rolling, and then it was over. 383, 4 touchdowns for Joe Milton, 2 wide receivers over 100 receiving yards. Okay, Squirrel White 10 receptions for 110. This is one of my favorite stats that I got to find all week. Camel Keaton, 122 yards and 2 touchdowns on 4 receptions. The kid averaged 30 yards a catch. Every time that man was catching a ball, it was 30 yards. Okay, that is insane. Okay, just throwing long darts out there. I love it. Joe Milton is a senior for Tennessee. So as I said, we're going to start to touch. Okay, Tennessee's always got top recruits, but you're going to need a quarterback next year. So let's see what they do. We're going to touch on my guys nice and early this week. Notre Dame 56, Stanford 23. Audric Estime said, it's my guy. We love him over here in this house. 238 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns. in an Irish rout. That almost wasn't a rout. Stanford led this game 13-7, then got outscored 49-10 after that. Go Irish. Sam Hartman, as I mentioned it earlier when we were talking about the transfer portal, Notre Dame being in the running for a quarterback coming up next year. Last regular season as an Irish quarterback, minus the bowl game. And honestly, if Sam wants to skip the bowl game and get ready for the next level, I'm 100% okay with that. Almost 100% okay with all the love we gave Sam Hartman. Unlike his ex-Wake Forest coach, who was a salty face, for us giving him a senior night, our senior day welcome, and playing a video package and showing him some love. He made a comment that, we were renting him. And hey, listen, you're right. Sam graduated and did what he was supposed to do at Wake Forest. He got tired of playing for a bottom tier, below mediocre program. He wanted to come to one of the blue bloods of college football. He wanted to come to one of the top collegiate programs in college football. And I don't blame any kid for being able to do that, because if Wake Forest's coach for the longest time wanted to just up and leave Wake Forest, he could have done it. His players would have never been able to follow him without sitting a year out. And I've noticed this with a lot of these coaches. They can't stand that these kids who actually have value and are actually worth money, real monetary money, as we see them getting paid. It strikes a nerve that they don't get to control these guys, as free labor, like they would like to. So shout out to you, Sam. Wake Forest, why don't you do better? So there, you can clip that one. Like we said, Notre Dame will be in the market for a quarterback. The 12th ranked class in 2023 for the Notre Dame Irish. And as of right now, they sit with the 8th ranked recruiting class for 2024. So, hey, big things coming for the Irish, we would hope. Another rivalry game. That was not very great. Clemson 16, South Carolina 7. Like I said, this was not great. Stock kind of leveling out for Clemson, huh, Dabo? Stock can't shoot up every week. 1 touchdown for Clemson. And it was a defensive touchdown by Khalil Barnes when he jumped on a bobble backwards pass, went for 42 yards to the house. Trick Daddy, take it to the house. 3 Jonathan White's career-long field goals of 42, 49, and 50. Clemson, I'm going to get on you here. When your kicker is kicking career longs of 42, 49, and 50, maybe you should hit the transfer portal. 4-win November for Clemson. Got to give it to him. Stock is up. 11th ranked recruiting class for 23. Okay. 1 5-star kid, but 16th as of right now for 2024. So, but Dabo's going to go in. Dabo's a good recruiter. So we don't 2 5-stars. But the problem that's always going to run in for Dabo is anti-NIL and he's anti-transfer portal. So eventually I think he's going to have to break that. I think he's going to have to eventually just let that go. And I think he's going to have to ride with that. South Carolina, 19th on this list. And I'm going to be honest, I think a lot of this is unfair to them playing in the SEC. I think if South Carolina played in the Big 10, Pac-12, Big 12, Mountain West, any other conference, I really, really, truly believe they would have made some kind of larger bowl game appearance, maybe a national championship appearance, maybe a college football semifinal. I think they would have. You get recruits down there at Clemson. The problem is playing in the SEC, man. And as we see year in, year out, unless you have some special teams of Florida from years and years ago, what Alabama has been, what Georgia, it's hard. So we'll see. The Battle of North Carolina. Let's keep it going. North Carolina State 39, North Carolina 20. The Wolf Pack of the NC State Wolf Pack jumped out to a 23-0 lead, and it proved to be way too much of a deficit to overcome. Brennan Armstrong, North Carolina State, 334 yards and 3 touchdowns, as Kevin Concepcion caught 7 of those for 131 yards and 2 touchdowns. Have I mentioned North Carolina is ready for hoops yet? And I know they are, because I watched a really good North Carolina Tennessee game the other night too. So I know hoops. I know they're ready for hoops. Number 17 in the country, 5-1 right now is North Carolina, and their only loss is over a number 18 Villanova squad. Yes, I'm sprinkling in the college basketball. Got to plant some seeds, so when all of a sudden it starts growing in October, come summertime, you're not surprised. That was an inside joke. If you got it, you got it. The takeaway for this game for me is Drake May. 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He was supposed to be the top guy coming out of this draft class right behind Caleb Williams. And he just hasn't shown that this year at all for me, honestly. 3608 on the yardage, yes. 24 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 9 rushing touchdowns. So 33 total touchdowns. We like that stat here. The big game show-ups are not here this year. They're just not. They haven't been there. The defense has also not showed up. But, I mean, this is college. Look at the top teams around the country. Their defenses don't show up every year. So your offense has to. And he has not looked consistent. I really would like to see Drake May come back. I'm going to be honest with you. Or potentially going to the transfer portal. UNC class of 23 was 30th. I like to point out that that's behind Colorado's. Coach Prime has been losing some recruits, but still. And the 2024 class is 26th. So North Carolina, top 30 class. I mean, time to do something with it. In a game that seemed really close, but when you look at the score, it wasn't really close. LSU 42, Texas A&M 30. A&M came to play, okay? The non-Jimbo Fishers they absolutely came to play. It's hard to overcome this Tiger offense. I mean, this LSU Tiger offense is amazing. They did have a lead up in the third, 24-14. But the story with the big face from LSU, 4 touchdown passes from Jane Daniels, 120 rushing yards. Come on. 122 receiving yards for Malik Neighbors, who's a top prospect as well, as you will see on Sundays. Garrett Nussmeier will be the incumbent starter for this LSU team come next year. That brings the 6th best class of 2023 and the 14th so far class of 2024. I'd take a breath there. I like to give Brian Kelly a lot of stick and a lot of smack talk on this pod. He can recruit. He always had at Notre Dame in top 25, top 25 is not fair to him. Top 15 recruiting classes. It's what he's going to do at LSU. So there is really no surprise here. For Texas A&M, since 2021, they've had classes that ranked 10, 15, and 1. And that 1 is considered one of the all-time ranked classes in the history of recruiting rankings and all of that. So as long as new coach Mike Elko can recruit, as we mentioned in the news and notes, he got hired in from Duke. If he can recruit anywhere close, okay, to what Jimbo did, Texas A&M will be okay because I think he's going to be a better on-field coach. But for all this, you got to give him some credit. For all of this Jimbo Fisher, and I'm not even sure what word I want to use, just absolute shit talk. I mean, I'm just going to say it like that. The absolute shit talk we've been doing about Jimbo since he got fired. And listen, he was deserved to be relieved of his job. He absolutely was. But Jimbo can recruit, okay? He could recruit at Florida State, ask Jameis Winston in a national championship team, okay? And he can recruit, and he could also recruit at Texas A&M. The on-field product, yes, a little bit shaky, 100%. But you got to give guys credit. And listen, half of the problem in college is getting the recruits in the door, okay? Once you get them in the door, yes, you need to be able to – I got that. The results were not there for Jimbo. But don't tell me that he can't recruit because he's absolutely going to. And I'll tell you now, if he does go to Vandy will be in a top bowl game and Vandy will be an SEC player before you know it. Because our problem with Texas A&M wasn't that they weren't a player, it's that they couldn't finish. He'll get Vandy to be a player, and then we'll see if he can finish. So we'll see how that goes. Let's keep it going. Iowa State and Kansas State. One of our 3 upsets of the week is Iowa State goes 42, Kansas State 35 as the Cyclones upset the Wildcats in a absolute snowstorm that we could not enjoy enough watching. Me and little bro, it was amazing. And it was a big play snowstorm too. Abu Sama the third. I'm putting your whole ass grown government name on there. 16 carries for 276 yards, 3 touchdowns. The man averaged 17 yards a carry. To quote my guy, mama, there goes that man. Touchdown runs. Listen to these numbers, ladies and gentlemen. These were his touchdown runs. 60 yards, 71 yards, and 77 yards in a snowstorm. I love it. Love it. Rocco Belch, 230. Jalen, the first Noel, 160, 2 touchdowns. That's my best Chris Berman joke. Okay, I'm still sneaking the corny jokes, and I don't care if I'm running solo pod. I'm driving. Despite those big plays and the long touchdowns, Kansas State was in this game. Matt Howard, 288 yards and a touchdown. We did mention that he is transferring. DJ Giddens, 114 and 1 touchdowns. Ben Sinnott, 136 and a touchdown. Wildcats just couldn't come up with the plays when it mattered. And that's why, that's kind of honestly, that's happened to them a lot this year. They were in big games. They had every opportunity in the schedule to be in the CFP or to make some noise, and their own downfall was that. One of our best games of the week. And I get to talk some smack on this one since Little Bro's not here. BYU 34, Oklahoma State 40 in double overtime. Ali, touchdown. Gordon, the second. Listen, they showed me his birth certificate. That's his name. I don't know what to tell you. 34 carries. Yes, 34 carries. 166 yards. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touchdowns. The last one being an amazing cutback. It really was. He was trapped, made an amazing cutback. Yeah, because that you can see that and you know what that means. And would cut back in, score out from about 5. Would end up being the winning score as the Cowboys would come back from 24-6 to win this game. BYU would kick a 42-yarder with no time left to send it to overtime, but it was destined for the Cowboys once they came back. Once the comeback was made. It's destined for the Cowboys. Sorry, another time. Ollie Gordon would make the run that I mentioned earlier, and then Trey Rooker would rip the ball out and recover it to give Oklahoma State the win in overtime. An up and down performance from Oklahoma State, a great performance from Ollie Gordon. That's Oklahoma State's season. Let's be honest. Watching this game, you were thinking, damn, BYU. All right, here we go. Performance of the year. No letdowns. This is it. You've had some issues. Go out there, beat a ranked Oklahoma State team. No, BYU'd. BYU'd. Shout out to Mike Gundy, all right, for not letting the kids fall. They got beat up after the Oklahoma game when they were riding high, and he picked them right back up. Oklahoma State Cowboys, 55 ranked class in 2023, 51 for 2024. Oklahoma State is not an easy place to recruit when you have Oklahoma right next door. The Battle of Florida. Florida State 24, Florida 15. The Seminoles rally behind Trey Benson's 3 touchdowns to remain the champions of Florida. Al Miller, shout out to you. The trolling you do to the Florida fans that you know is amazing, and I love you for it on Facebook. Shout out to your Seminoles. However, it was not easy. 3 punts on the first 3 drives and a safety would put the Seminoles down 12-0 early, but a dominant second half to propel them. And honestly, it was Trey Benson, like we mentioned. 95 yards, 3 touchdowns was the difference maker here. A tale of 2 halves. Florida Gators, chomp chomp, would have the lead and look like the hungrier team in the first. Florida State held Florida to how many yards? 48 second half yards. Minus 15 yards in the fourth quarter. With 6 sacks on the day. That's as dominant as a half as you can find. We will look forward to Florida State, but let's look forward to Florida first. The Gators have the 13th ranked recruiting class in 2023, and right now, the number 5 class in 2024. You will never, ever hear me or anyone who knows college football ever tell you Florida doesn't get players and Florida doesn't get recruits. Can they get a coaching staff that can put it together on the field? That's always been the question. Right, bro? Shouting him out even though he's not here. Florida State, they now move on to a tough matchup with Louisville that we will talk about later. Teaser. But if they can win out, they'll be fine. I do want to mention class-wise for the Seminoles, 19th ranked class in 23. No surprise to have a top 20 class. Right now, the Florida State Seminoles have the third. 1, 2, 3. ranked class in 2024. That was the worst visual ever. I'll never do that again. I apologize. The third ranked class in 2024. Mike Norvell can coach. Mike Norvell can recruit. Stop sleeping on this guy. Let's keep it going to the Battle of Kentucky. Kentucky 38, Louisville 31. What a damn game. And that's a theme of this week. This was a good one. This was a good one. We were screaming about this one. A late Cardinals interception gives the Wildcats the win in the Battle of Kentucky. This was a great back and forth game. Louisville had second half leads of 10 on two separate occasions. And Kentucky, to their credit, would score every time and get it close until they finally took the lead after a Jake Plummer interception. Kentucky would capitalize on a 20-yard touchdown from Leary to Davis. Jack Plummer would redeem himself and get Louisville tied up at 31, but Kentucky would respond with the final blow, a Ray Davis 37-yard touchdown run that had a screaming. Cardinals would have one more chance. They nearly fumbled it. They nearly threw an interception, and then Jack Plummer would dack, and he would finish it with an interception and end the game. Taking shots on my own squad. Leave me alone. Louisville had a real chance to be in the chaos mix come Selection Sunday, because if they could have beat Kentucky and then gone in and upset Florida State, I'm not saying they would have got in. I'm not saying they would have jumped all the teams, but they would at least had a chance to pull up a chair at Selection Sunday and go, what about us? I don't care if you win this week. There is no about you. Great if you can go out and beat a Florida State team with a backup quarterback, but it could have been a lot better. Let's move on to another great game. Rivalry week really, really, really lived up to its name. Washington State 21, Washington 24. A game-winning field goal caps another bad weather, ugly close win for Washington and Michael Penix Jr. And it is like they're getting some just awful weather games. And I'm not talking snow. I am talking torrential downpours that you can't move or throw the ball in. As you saw in our other game, our Iowa State, Kansas State game, you can run the ball in the snow for 60, 71, and 77 yards. Okay. Washington caps an undefeated season with an Apple Cup win, and they are in the driver's seat like I am driving you today for the college football playoffs. The way I want to describe this game, Washington won this game like a great boxer. I grew up with boxing, so I still love boxing. Or if you're not a boxing and you're an MMA person, this is the equivalent of a great boxer or a great MMA fighter who would just kind of jab first, get a couple shots in on the opponent, take some back, but always first, always leading, always out front. And that to me is basically what Washington did, because then Washington would basically just take this for me and would be the equivalent of them winning on points. Of course, as I said, pushed ahead early, took the lead, kind of never gave it up. But they didn't just take the lead. If you haven't seen this 4th and 1 play, it is worth going and looking up. 4th and 1, deep on their own end, tie game, fake handoff, flips it to a reverse, ends up setting up the 42-yard field goal as time expired. Go look it up. It's worth seeing because the play call was an excellent play call, gutsy, ballsy play call, and Michael Penix Jr. absolutely nailed it. It was a great play. We got to give some other love. Cam Ward of Washington State, 317, 3 touchdowns. He did have 2 interceptions, but he played his butt off. Michael Penix Jr., 204 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interceptions. Rivalry games are tough, okay? They are not easy games. Ask Alabama, ask Michigan coming up. Washington is just kind of hanging on there right now. They are hanging on to the shelf. Okay, I can't touch that. Things will literally fall on us if I touch that. But they are hanging on, which means they could easily explode here and just have one of those monster Michael Penix Jr., Dylan Johnson, Odunze games. But this also means that they are ripe for Oregon to just run them over. More on that later. For next year, Washington, who joins the Big Ten, brings the 26th ranked 2023 class. Right now, the 2024 class is sitting at 39th. Top 50, yes, but you're sitting at 49. I respect it. I respect what they do up in Washington year in, year out, because every couple of years, Washington is always a player. The 40th ranked recruiting class is not going to win you the Big Ten. Now, if you can get you another Michael Penix Jr. to transfer in, it will. But just the 40th ranked class is not going to win you the Big Ten. I'm just going to put it out there. Whew. All right, Mom, I'm going to lean back to your comment from before. My heart is broken over Ohio. Shout out to Mom with the Christmas picture as well. Yep, we got to talk about it. Hang in there. Hang in there, Ohio State fans. Ohio State 24, Michigan 30. Michigan wins the game. And it lived up to all the hype. All the hype. But in the end, Big Blue, the Amazing Blue, were able to make the stops when it counted. But let's do a quick recap. Come stay with me, OSU fans, okay? It's worth it. Michigan jumped to an early lead behind a Blake Corum 1-yard touchdown. After Kyle McCord would throw his first interception of the day, Michigan would then jump to a 14-3 lead after J.J. McCarthy threw an absolute dart, peach of a throw that split two defenders, went over one of theirs head. They did have to go back and look at it because the OSU defender had jarred it loose at the end, but me and the replay booth thought that ball had crossed the line. Pops, listen, I know I'm killing you, Smalls. I know, but I got to do it. I got to just hang in with me, okay? Everything after this is roses and sunshines. I promise you. Like I said, I thought replay got it right. I thought replay got it right all game in this game. I'm gonna be honest with you. We rip VAR for soccer. We rip instant replay. I think it's fair to give them a pat on the back when they deserve it, and I think they did for this. McCord would get OSU back in the game with a short touchdown throw to Emeka Mbuka to close it to 14-10. Field goal would get Michigan up 17-10 before OSU would tie it up after 8 straight runs and a Travion Henderson touchdown. We got to put him in there. Thank you, bro. Absolutely love you. We shouted you out. Go kill it. We love you, bro. You got this week and next week. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Michigan would then take the lead after a 22-yard Blake Corum touchdown, their second 20-plus yard touchdown of the day. OSU hadn't given up more than one of those all year. So, thank you, Moms. Appreciate you for checking in. My bad. Michigan would add another field goal. OSU would respond from a touchdown from who else? Marvin Himison Jr. Okay. Michigan got pressure on McCord when it counted. And while OSU was driving down the field late to try to potentially win the game, a late interception with 27 seconds left, Michigan gets its statement win. Michigan gets 3 in a row, and they advance to the Big Ten championship game for the second year in a row, one step closer to the college football playoffs. OSU fans, let's get over the game. I won't keep you long here on it, but I want to point something out, and I want to get critical. I want to get real for a second. There's been some rumors of Marvin Harrison Jr. returning. I think it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I think he should go pro today. I think he should skip your bowl game. I think you should do what you are best at Ohio State. Reload, okay? You don't rebuild, okay? Here, I'll be a full Ohio homer who has lived in this area his entire life. Since I was, whenever you hired our Trim Tressel, you do not rebuild, you reload, you come back next year, and within 2 to 3 years, you either win one or you're right there. So I don't like the prospect of bringing back Marvin Harrison Jr. I think it creates a distraction. I think he only hurts his own draft stock. I think he goes out and rolls his ankle one time and he sits. I think that's bad. I also think that while Kyle McCord is a good quarterback, I think he's limited. I think there's other players with higher ceilings. I'm just reload and come back next year. I don't even think you need to fire Ryan Day. If you want to call Luke Fickell, that's fine. Get out of here with your calling Urban Meyer stuff. That is just it's not only unrealistic, it's not reasonable. Just call Luke Fickell if you want. I honestly think you should run it back with Ryan Day. I think you should get I think you should just No, I don't think you should get anything. I think you should reload, and I think you should come back next year. If he loses to Michigan again, that's fine. You guys can't dominate this rivalry for 30-something years. You're going to have some down years, and you have been very spoiled, okay? I would be talking the same smack to Alabama fans right now. You have been spoiled, and you will be back. I promise you that. All right. Game of the week. The Iron Bowl. Alabama 27, Auburn 24. It has been 10 years. It was 10-year anniversary of the kick six. And man, did this game live up and give us a moment that not maybe surpassed the pick six, but if you've ever seen, okay, hold on, pause, stop. Shout out to Mel. He already sent his hey big head text. I know you did, Mel. I know. I'm just saying. Back to the Iron Bowl. If you've seen the meme now of Joe Rogan and Daniel Cormier go, oh my God, that was me and Andrew when Jalen Monroe threw that pass. Okay. Flew off. We could have flipped tables. Okay. We would have gotten ourselves beat up. I'm also glad it's the 10-year anniversary of the kick six because pretty much all I did the entire game was yell, Auburn's going to win the football game. And they almost did. This game was a back and forth one. We begged Auburn on the Straub Bro Sports Show college football pregame to show up and make this a game. Auburn, you did everything that you possibly could. Auburn had every chance to win this football game. Auburn had exactly, bro. How? We're gonna tell you how, and I'm gonna break it down for you. Auburn had every chance to win this game. A 14-10 lead, a 21-10 lead, and a 24-20 lead with 4 minutes and 48 seconds until a muffed punt gave Alabama the ball. Now, I won't go blow by blow, but ladies and gentlemen, we've got to talk about the last couple plays of this drive, okay? The Tigers did play great, okay? Touchdown drives of 5 plays. 2 of those were 3 plays and a field goal drive of 16 plays. But let's get to it. Jalen Monroe, the Iron Bowl of Iron Bowls. Uncle Cletus, roll tide as roll tide can get. 259, 2 touchdowns, 107 yards rushing, and the play that you have seen a million times, but let's take you through it as I said. A muffed punt by Auburn that would have or could have ended this game. Could have been it. 3rd and 20. Jalen Monroe takes off, gets to the first down line marker, and is leveled. So they go for it, and they get it to the 7-yard line. They get a loss of 1, a loss of 18 on a botched snap, an illegal forward pass after Jalen Monroe scrambled, took it off, and threw it like 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. Setting up 4th and goal from the 31-yard line. Jalen Monroe drops back to pass, scrambles around for half of the entire length of a commercial break, drops back forever, and throws a bleeping perfect lawn dart to the corner of the end zone. And I am talking the best throw you will see. Isaiah Bond catches it, roll tide. Alabama wins. I know there was some argument on defense. And listen, it was the most amazing 4th down throw to win a game I have ever seen. Pause. I don't know. Maybe. Clip that. I'll take it. There might be other ones, but that was just absolutely amazing. He gets some love for honorary Straub Bro of the week. He is not the honorary Straub Bro of the week. We'll get to that here in a second, but he absolutely gets some love because it was an amazing throw. Auburn, the defense messed up. They should have absolutely had 3 back and 4 in front and just said, you're going to have to pin this thing in there. And I think he still might have done it, but roll tide. Alabama wins. Alabama moves to the SEC championship game. This is a Andrew Straub. I'm going to let you know right now while you're sitting in the comments, my guy, you are very glad that you are not here for this one. Our honorary Straub Bro of the week this week, Ollie's. What, Ken? Ollie's. My guy's named Ollie. Ollie Gordon III, 5 touchdowns in an overtime win over BYU. Honorary Straub Bro of the week. Ollie Watkins of Aston Villa, a 61st minute goal as Aston Villa beat Spurs and stay 4th in the Premier League and tie Liverpool for 3rd. And our third Ollie of the week, Ollie McBurney, a goal for Sheffield United. Even though they lost, I am shoveling this one in there because that's 3 Ollies. Yes, bro. Ollie, 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 touchdown, goal, goal. That's for you, big. That's for you, little bro. Big bro's got this. Holding down the Straub Bro of the week. Ollies. Your honorary Straub Bro of the week. Let's keep it going. Whew. You also get to be off from getting head slaps and chest bumps, okay, bro? So enjoy that, you don't get to do honorary bro, but you get to skip this part too. So let's start with the head slaps. I went against myself on the Straub Bros preview show in my Michigan-Ohio State rant, and halfway through ranted myself out of Michigan and picked OSU. So I messed that one up. I also told you I thought the Florida Gators would upset Florida State. I wasn't far off. I mean, they started great, but they couldn't hold up. I told you South Carolina might get Clemson. They lost 16-7. What do you want from me? Kansas State, sorry about that one as well. Chest bumps. Us having a full college preview show and then it being the best weekend of college football ever. So I think we get a dat for that. Betting wise, that OSU Michigan over, you're welcome. That Iron Bowl over, you're welcome. LSU in the points, you're welcome. All right. So we know what time it is. It's the biggest week all year. It just keeps going. Every week's the biggest week. I know I sound like that guy. It's the biggest college week since the last week. But it's championship week, baby. So ladies, gentlemen, all in between, let's ride. Our first one, our Ohio game. Oops. How about you put up the Ohio game, Ken? Our Ohio game, the MAC championship. 10-2 Miami Redhawks versus the 11-1 Toledo Rockets. They've already met once this year. And in the first match, the Rockets won 21-17. The Toledo Rockets open as 7.5-point favorites, but the Redhawks of Miami come in allowing 132 rushing yards a game, 163 in the nation. That's a key coming up. Averaging 27 a game with backup quarterback Avion Smith. They look to avenge that early loss to Toledo. Let's talk about Toledo. The Rockets, 34 sacks this year. Okay. And they ranked first in QB hurries. Okay. All while only allowing 16 points per game, 7th in the nation. These are not your grandfather's Toledo Rockets. Okay. I love Toledo here. Okay. Love Toledo here. And I love, have already locked it in, the over of 44.5. No little bro, same big bro bets. Let's keep it going. Our next championship game, the Sun Belt Championship. Appalachian State, yes, that Appalachian State versus Troy. Appalachian State come in 8-4, Troy 10-2. So let's just get it out there. Let's get it out. Let's elephant in the room. Let's address it. You can't bet against App State here. You can't. I'm not betting against App State. I may not bet for App State, but I'm not betting against App State. I don't have an all you in love this week because I love all of these games and you should watch all of them. But if you need an all you, that is betting against App State. Just throwing it out there. But Troy do open as 5.5-point favorites. Troy also only allows 17 points per game. Shout out to these smaller schools with some big defenses. Okay. Gunnar Watson leads Troy's second best in the conference offense into this game as well. Shout out to App State. Their Mountaineers quarterback, Jay Aguilar, almost 3,233 yards this year, 33 touchdown passes, 3rd most in FBS. Come on now. This App State defense, 21 takeaways. There's your keys. There's your stats. Troy should win this game. Troy should win this game. But come on, how are we going against App State? If you're a Michigan fan, I got you. And if App State's coming to your town, and like if you're James Madison, I got. But come on. For the rest of us, I'm on App State here. 52.5 on the over. Me likey. Let's keep going. Mountain West Championship. That would be the 7-5. Oh, I'm having a problem. But that's okay. 7-5 Boise State versus 9-3 UNLV. The UNE, Boise State opens as 2.5-point favorites. Yeah. So 19th in FBS is this UNLV high-powered offense. Sorry, I've been trying to get that together. 35.6 points per game for UNLV. Quarterback Jaden Maivia. I don't believe any relation, but I'm always going to assume. I always want to be that guy. 14 touchdowns this year. Okay. This game, honestly, though, if you're going to tune into this game, Straub Bro Sports Show, Ken, you kind of fumbled at the beginning. What am I locking in for on the Mountain West Championship? Ricky White of UNLV, Ashton Janetti of Boise State. Okay. This wide receiver and running back are the two most explosive players in the Mountain West. Okay. So that's what you're looking for. Okay. All right. That's what you're looking for. As I told you, Boise State 2.5-point favorites. I don't touch unders. If they're under, I don't need it. Okay. I don't need unders. I love this over a 58.5. Love this over. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it rolling. Conference USA Championship. New Mexico State versus number 24 Liberty. A rematch of week 3 as 10-3 New Mexico State, fresh off of their honorary first member Hall of Fame inductee of the honorary Straub Bro of the week after their upset of Auburn, look to take out the undefeated 12-0 Liberty Flames. Liberty opens as 10.5-point favorites. Liberty average 40 points a game. Okay, they throw for 203 and they rush for 295 behind quarterback Caden Salter and Quentin Cooley. Now, for New Mexico State, we talked about him 2 weeks ago, or last week. Quarterback Diego Pavaya and his 28 total touchdowns lead New Mexico State looking for their second big upset of this year after taking out Auburn like we talked about 2 weeks ago. I like Liberty here because New Mexico State struggles on the road against the run. They give up about 140 on the road. Liberty has an amazing running game. As we mentioned, they had under 60 passing yards, over 300, almost 400, or no, it was 400 rushing yards. Okay, so that is why I like Liberty, because Liberty doesn't just have a great running game. They have an elite running game. Liberty. But if New Mexico State can stop the run enough, just enough, similar to when we were talking Oregon State or Oregon and Washington, can one of these defense just kind of clip up somebody just a trip, because they can light it up, okay? And Liberty does not want to get into a running game trying to catch up, okay? But I once again, I still like Liberty here. Most importantly, I mean, duh, there's no surprise. I love the over of 56.5. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you do not get on these overs tonight or very early tomorrow morning, by the time these games start, you will not be anywhere near these numbers. These are going to keep going up or keep getting driven down or on a game that we don't want them to get driven down on. So I'm just get there now. Like I said, give me Liberty or get – come on now. Our next one, the AAC championship game sees SMU, yes, that SMU, versus number 22 Tulane. The Green Wave of Tulane open as 3.5-point favorites over the 10-2 Mustangs of SMU. I am going to get very historic and proud at the end of this, because this SMU story deserves to be talked about. But start with Tulane. Michael Pratt and Tulane come in 11-1. Their only loss to number 11 Ole Miss. That's a resume. That also the best team that they've played. But don't start with me. Both of these teams come in 8-0 in conference play, a true championship game. Tulane better be ready for this SMU offense, who has scored 31 points in 8 straight, including 45 in 4 of their last 6. Pac-12 numbers, baby. Let's get it out. Let's get it out here right now. I like the upset here, okay? This would be an historic SMU win, but we'll start here. I like SMU, and of course, I like the 47.5 over. Love it, okay? They could finish SMU 11-2 for the first time since 1982 behind the Pony Express of Eric Dickerson and Craig James. If you don't know those names, go Google or go ask your dad, okay? Or go ask your grandfather, okay, who the Pony Express was, okay? You may have seen the ESPN documentary on it, the Pony Express. If you haven't, go watch it, okay? But we'll speed you up a little bit. If you don't know, SMU would be paying players. Oh, what do you mean, Ken? We all pay players. Yeah, you used to not be able to. SMU used to pay players. They got told, stop doing it. And what did SMU do? And they kept doing it. And they were given the football death penalty. The program was cut. And it has literally taken them until now to get this program back to just be on this level, to be in the AAC championship game. Okay. Now they move to the ACC next year. So first and foremost, shout out to you, SMU. Shout out to for getting back to this level. But how great would it be to see them take this AAC championship with them? Okay. Well, give some love to SMU. The 77th ranked 2024 class. So let's see if we can get this to help. Let's see if this can improve it. Pro SMU over here. Okay. You're not going to see me hate on that because now it's okay. We just didn't like it then. We wanted to pretend like these kids had to actually go to school. Now we just don't care. Shout out to us not caring and just being real about it. Shout out to you, SMU. All right. Let's get to the big ones. Not that these all aren't big ones, but you know what I mean. The ACC championship game. Number 14, Louisville. Number 4, Florida State. 12-0 Florida State opens this game as 2.5-point favorites, despite playing with their backup quarterback. 10-2 Louisville come in off their loss to Kentucky, hungry to completely blow apart the Seminoles' chance to be in the college football playoffs. This game. A couple of weeks ago, this reminds me of when Duke and North Carolina played, when Duke's quarterback was hurt, North Carolina's quarterback was hurt. We were like, this was supposed to be a great game. Not anymore. This is now a game of two teams who are going to just try to limit their quarterbacks' mistakes, limit their throws, and hope the running game can come through. The running game, that would be Jawar Jordan for the Louisville Cardinals, Trey Benson for your Florida State Seminoles. Florida State is better all over the field. Okay, they are. But Tate Rodemaker, you put in your backup quarterback, and things kind of start to even out, especially when Louisville's been playing like this all year. This is their guys. They're playing with their guys. They got who they got. You keep trying to move guys in and out from Florida State. You lose your starting quarterback. You take a step back. Now, let's see if they've gone through enough games to take their step back up, but we'll see. Because it's not going to be the offense that's going to get Florida State this game. The Seminoles defense only giving up 17 points per game. I know 16, 17. You've got some phenomenal defenses out here, and Florida State has one, and they are going to need to rely on it heavy. This is a big game. Obviously, Florida State wins, they're in the college football playoffs. Duh, it's a big game, Ken. I know that. It's a big game for Mike Norvell to prove nationally, I'm a guy. I'm him. Come play for me. It isn't just Jameis anymore. It isn't just work done. It isn't just Dion. We're here now again. Come play at Florida State. Come play at, come be in Florida. Let's go. No tax on your NIL money. I mean, hey, the NBA and the NFL teams do it, so why can't colleges? So a big game for Mike Norvell. The over sits at 47.5. So before any prediction, I love that a lot. 47.5. Come on now. Overs, baby. We're making money. That being said, I think Louisville can do this. I told you Florida State could do it last week, and Florida State showed you they could do it. I think Louisville could do this, and that would mean not learning my own lesson of going against Florida State again, but also betting against a Florida State team that has countered every single punch that they have gotten. This is what I'm betting on. Louisville being pissed off about losing to Kentucky and a chance to show Florida State I'm king here, okay? And then go somewhere else if they want. You want to go to the SEC? You want to move on to bigger pastures? Go, because Louisville is the king of the ACC. Florida State's got to stumble with a backup quarterback at some point, right? Right? We'll see. Let's keep it going. The Big Ten championship game. Number 2, Michigan. Number 16, Iowa. These are some fun numbers. The undefeated Wolverines open as 21.5-point favorites in a championship game. The over-under right now sits at 34.5, the lowest number for a title game since 2000. Yeah. And both of these offenses look like they're taking over for the 9-9 and the 2000 because they're not up to date. If you didn't get that joke, the joke was too old for you. Michigan matches up with a 10-2 Iowa team with a great defense, but a mediocre and banged up offense. Michigan looking for their 3rd consecutive outright Big Ten title, which would be the first in program history. Fitting if you match that with their 1,000th win this year. Michigan will also be getting back their head coach, Jim Harbaugh, after his suspension. And I'm going to be honest, that is an absolute game changer. There are college coaches are bigger game changers, I think, sometimes than NFL coaches because the skill level and the scheme level on the NFL is so high that the margins are smaller, where in Florida, I think a very, very good coach can really, really push you to the next level. Ask Kirby Smart, ask Dabo Swinney, ask Nick Saban. Soon you will be asking Marcus Freeman. Come on. You knew that was coming. Like I said, Jim Harbaugh is back. Blake Corum comes in on fire as well. Michigan's defense, 21 turnovers and 2 safeties this year. But they're not the only defense in this game. Iowa's defense only gives up 12 points a game, 104 rushing yards a game. Okay, so 2 defenses that are going to go at it and 2 teams that no matter what want to run the ball. And I kind of just noticed what all of you just noticed is, man, my nose looks ridiculously big when I do not have Drew to shrink the screen. But that's another story. JJ McCarthy, the key for Michigan. Okay, he has got to limit his turnovers like he has all year, and especially last week. And if he has got the balls to make a couple throws like he did last week, Michigan was going to win this game, no problem. Okay, I think Michigan is going to win, but if Iowa can capitalize on the high that Michigan is on right now, we just beat Ohio State. We beat them for 3 years in a row. We're in the college football playoff driver's seat. We're getting Jim back. If they can capitalize on that, Iowa State can upset Michigan. The problem has been every time you back this Michigan team up, they come out punching harder, and you would say, no, well, Ken, they got Jim back. That's not pushing them back. No, if you don't think Harbaugh is walking in that locker room acting like he just got out from doing 15 years of unlawful and unright imprisonment, then you on another story. He's absolutely going to have that locker room flying and absolutely ready to go. I got to thank you. Hey, embrace that nose, Andy. Hey, and I know. That's my grandfather's nose. It just, man, it didn't look so big when you squished me and Drew together, man. You unsquished me and I realized it comes out. I don't think I was gonna do it. I like Michigan here. Forget this over. I'm not. I like Iowa to cover, by the way. 21.5 in the championship game. Nope, nope, nope. And some more no. Let's keep it going. Big 12 championship. Number 18, Oklahoma versus number 7, Texas. The Longhorns open 14.5-point favorites. Yeah, you see me kind of side-eyeing that. While they are a one-loss team, not a lot of people think that they are playing well or that they deserve to get in if there's chaos. So here, Texas, here's the national stage. Here's a ranked Oklahoma State team. Show us, show the committee that they are dead wrong. You're legit, and you deserve to be in if there's chaos, and you deserve to be in just in general. Prove this, you deserve to be in. Period. Mike Gundy in Oklahoma State set out to finish their roller coaster season on the up and knock off Texas as they want to go 2-0 against the Big 2 out of the Big 12, running away to the SEC next year as they already clipped Oklahoma. So let's see if they can get Texas. This is Alex Bowman and Ollie Gordon versus Quinn Ewers, CJ Baxter, Xavier Worthy, all some under-the-radar guys nationally. I think you're going to see all these guys on Sunday at some point. But the key for Oklahoma State, control the ball and run your honorary Straub Bro of the week, Ollie Gordon, and his 1,580 yards, his 20 touchdowns, and knock Texas around. And they also have to win the turnover battle because Oklahoma State is 9-0 when they win or tie the turnover battle. Win and tie the turnover battle, run Ollie Gordon Jr., you upset Texas. Now for Texas, I think they need to go and punch Oklahoma State and hit them down the field on some big plays. The Oklahoma State Cowboys rank 112th. 112th in yards through the air. Okay. I know it was Oklahoma, bro. I know it was, but I'm just saying Oklahoma State wants to ride out. Okay. Oklahoma State wants to ride out with that. We'll see. My bad. 112th in the air. Play good defense for Texas and let their stud Tavondre Sweat wreak havoc. With all that being said, I like Texas here. I've been very hard on Texas. I admit it, okay? But I think Texas can win. Guys, what's coming next? Of course, I love the over. It's 54.5. I absolutely love it. But don't you dare let Ali go off. I'm just saying, okay? Especially with how as hype as Mike Van Gundy, Mike Gundy is going to have that Oklahoma State team. I'm just, you know what? Give me Oklahoma State. I still love you over. I'm changing my mind. Texas, I'm not sold on you. I'm not sold on you in my heart. In my heart, I'm sold on Ali, touchdown, goal. Ollie Gordon, Oklahoma State. Yeah. Pac-12 championship game. Let's take a breather. Let's take a reset. Let's take a pause. Because all of the other games are great. All the other games are good. The next two are on a totally different level. Okay? I had to hit the water for that. And that would be number 5, Oregon versus number 4, Washington, the rematch. Oregon came in as a 9.5-point favorite. Okay? In the rematch we all want. In the rematch we all need. In the rematch we all deserve. 36-33 in the first game. A missed kick at the end would have tied it for Oregon. Some questionable fourth down calls as well. Winner take all. Winner gets into the college football playoffs. It is that simple. Nobody. So let's break this down. Nobody is playing better or hotter than the Oregon Ducks right now. Nobody. Winners of 6 in a row. And since that loss, okay, not just Oregon, but Bo Nix has gone off 2 4 passing touchdown games, a 6 passing touchdown game, and a 6 total touchdown game. Come on. Come on now. Michael Penix Jr. has gone the opposite, okay? All of his worst games of the year have been since this Oregon game. A no touchdown game, multiple interceptions game in there as well. Michael Penix Jr. is elite. Okay, he's going to play on Sundays. All praise for this kid. Oregon's given up 5 sacks all year. Another key here. So you see how I'm talking about this. So you already see where I'm leaning. I'm going to be honest. I like Oregon here. I think they've got the revenge game in their mind. I think that means more in college than a lot of people would give it credit for. I think Washington is a great team. I really, really do. But I think they have peaked, and I think they're waiting for their first loss to skip up. I honestly think and this is some credit to Washington, I think if the score was reversed, I think if Washington had lost the first game, I think they would have gone on the tear that Oregon did. I'm not saying Oregon would have dipped, but I think they would have gone on the same tear. So I think this is where Washington finally stops stumbling, and I think this is where Washington finally falls. Like I said, I like Oregon. The points are nice. They really are, and I like them. I don't love them. Come on, everybody. It's the last Pac-12 game of the year. Of course I like the over. 65.5. Hammer it away. Let's go to the heavyweight fight. The SEC championship game. Number 1, Georgia. Number 8, Alabama. The big game. Okay? The big game. Here we go. Okay? Now, your Bulldogs open up as 6.5-point favorites. However, I almost don't even want to read the stats for this game, but we'll go through a couple because this is all gut. But we'll go through some stats. Like I said, Bulldogs 6.5-point favorites, a 12-0 Georgia team, Kirby Smart, an 11-1 Alabama team, Nick Saban. Do I even need to preview this, everybody? It's Georgia versus Alabama in the SEC championship game with Kirby Smart and Nick Saban as the coaches. I don't care if they were playing Tecmo Bowl. But let's roll on this. Georgia, 29 consecutive wins. However, they are 0-3 against Alabama in the SEC championship game. Georgia, you win and you're in. You lose and you might still be in. Alabama, you have got to win and hope for some more chaos. This Georgia team has been solid all year. We have talked about that week in, week out on the Straub Bro Sports Show. And they're hot at the right time. They are playing solid football. They are absolutely on fire. Sorry for the distraction. I needed to make sure, we gotta put it everywhere for everybody to see. Georgia's hot. Georgia's hot at the exact right time, like I just said to you. Ooh, I'm gonna put that up. I see you, Josh. I see you, Oos. Okay. Now, you could argue that Alabama should have 2 losses right now. Okay. And this game shouldn't be happening. We shouldn't have this. None of it. A fourth and goal from the 31-yard line and an amazing throw is why we are here. But I want to remind you, the year that Auburn upset Bama with the kick 6, they upset Missouri the next week in the SEC championship game and got to the championship game before they lost to Jameis Winston and the Florida State Seminoles. Is that a weird preview? I don't know. Maybe. It's worth pointing out. I got numbers. Okay? I really do. So let's put those numbers out there as I send this out to Snapchat and everywhere else so everybody knows to check in with us because we are live. 40 points a game Georgia scores. They only give up 16. Okay? Bama, 36 a game. Only give up 18. Okay? Georgia has the best third down defense in the nation. All right, I'm done. No more stats. But it's going to come with a stat. Nick Saban's going to lose 3 in a row. Nick Saban is going to lose out on the college football playoff for 3 years in a row. Here's your stat. Since the inception of the college football playoffs, okay, We have not gone a 3-year span without an Alabama national title. Guess what it is, ladies and gentlemen? 2, 3. It is year 3. Oos, Josh, I'm going to disagree. Roll Tide. The 55.5 over, Roll Tide. The SEC championship game, Roll Tide. Absolute chaos. Why do I pick this one? Never has championship week gone chalk. Okay? That is a non-chalk week. So something's got to happen, right? So I'm going to roll with it. I don't got my tag yet. Mel agrees with me. Saban with the upset. Roll Tide, roll. But hey, come on now. You heard me. I got it for you. Don't worry, everybody. There they are. Here are your bets of the week. There's my overs. Okay. Those are the ones. Those are where they at. I don't like all of them. That MAC one, 44.5. Love it. That Big 10 one, don't know. Big 12, love it. Pac-12, come on now. We have made, if you have been following the Straub Bro Sports Show and you've been rolling with us and you've been betting with us, you have made some money on some Pac-12 overs. So how are we not going over in the championship game? Come on. Pac-12, like we said, Big 12, yes. AAC, love it. Love that 47.5. The Mountain West, love it. The Sun Belt, love it. Cash in on championship week. Let's do it. Your teams and your points. I only like one. I like that Oregon minus 9.5. I think this can get to a 10-point, a 2-touchdown. Listen. Nobody wants smoke with Oregon right now. Okay, I would have a hard time putting Oregon against anybody right now. Okay, they are playing that well. But if you're interested in some upsets, I got you covered. I already picked this one. SMU plus 3.5, plus 132. Do I got it locked in? Of course I got it locked in. I ain't telling you on which one, but of course I got it locked in. New Mexico State, honorary Straub Bro family of the week, off an upset of Auburn. Can they clip Liberty? We'll see. Plus 340 there. Alabama, like I said, Roll Tide. If you like them to win by a touchdown, that plus 6.5 is sweet. That plus 180, whatever you want to roll with. We talked about them before. I gave you as all you betting against them. But if you want to bet with Appalachian State, there's your plus 5.5. There's your plus 184. Louisville, plus 2.5, plus 118. If you think they can upset Florida State. And Oklahoma State, if you think they can clip Texas, then there you are, plus 500. Now, those bets are done. So we'll take that down. Hey, I'm back. As you see him right there, you see his face. You see his face again. He's all over there. Little bro, you're not here. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to talk some footy, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we are going to get into some soccer. We're going to take our international ride, and we're going to hit the Premier League games from last week. Let's start with the first one. Fulham 3, Wolves 2. Both teams would exchange first half goals early on from Fulham through Alex Iwobi. Wolves would tie it up 15 minutes later through Mateus Cunha. Then we would have a second half penalty shootout. Willian would put home a penalty in the 59th minute for Fulham. Wang for Wolves in the 75th minute. And then Willian again in stoppage time would win it with a penalty for Fulham. Fulham wins. How you feel, bro? I don't care how you feel, bro. Love you, bro. Shout out to you. Let's keep it going now. Bournemouth 3, Sheffield United 1. Sheffield United's good run goes out the door early and often in this one. Some good one-touch passing would see Marcus Tavernier score in the 12th minute. An extra time of the first half would see Justin Colivert put Bournemouth up 2-0. Tavernier would then get his first ever Senior League double in the 51st minute, getting his second goal. Sheffield United, if you remember the Straub Bros, honorary Straub Bro of the week, would get a consolation goal in the 97th minute as Ali McBurney would head one home one more time for Ali, touchdown, goal. You have to trademark that. Let's keep it going. Luton Town 2, Crystal Palace 1. Luton Town gets their first ever home Premier League win. Honorary Straub Bro of the week for you there. I didn't want to put it up there. I don't want to spoil it, but Luton Town, honorary Straub Bro family of the week. Shout out to you. Their first home win. After a back and forth affair, though, with all of the scoring coming after the 70th minute. It started with former Manchester United teen Mengi, who would put Luton ahead in the 73rd minute before Crystal Palace's Mikel Olise would make an amazing run and make a stunning finish into the side netting. But another amazing ball played in and another great finish this week saw Jacob Brown win it for Luton. Keep it going. West Ham 2, Burnley 1. All second half goals once again in this one, as Jay Rodriguez would put home a penalty in the 49th minute. A Dara O'Shea own goal would tie it up after a cross came in and deflected right off of him in the net in the 86th minute. And then in extra time, Thomas Souček would finish off a cross with a great finish and give the Hammers all 3 points. Straub Bro -1. Yep, you're supposed to be studying for finals too. You're not supposed to be in here either. Y'all supposed to be studying. Go study. All right, let's keep it going. Brighton 3, Nottingham Forest 2. Anthony Alenga, another former Manchester United player, would open up the scoring early in the 3rd minute with a header and put Forest up. Evan Ferguson would then curl one home to tie it up in the 23rd minute. Yao Pedro, a first half sub, would then head home a late first half goal in stoppage time to put Brighton up 2-1. Yao Pedro would then put home a penalty in the 58th minute. Morgan Gibbs-White would put in his own penalty. Fair to point out that Lewis Dunk of Brighton would be sent off for arguing the call. Straight red. For Forest to pull one back, but it wasn't enough, even a man up, for Forest to get a point, as they will lose this game. Bro, if you're still in the comments, and we got to give you love. Appreciate you, Keita. Appreciate you. I know, but keep grinding, you guys. Keep it grinding. A nice relaxing pod, so you're hearing me scream at you. Thank you, hon. Aston Villa 2, Tottenham 1. Bro, where are you in the comments? Spurs looking real Spursy right now. A good back and forth game, and Spurs would strike first. The Giovanni Lo Cello, one-touch blast, an absolute peach of a goal. But Pau Torres would tie it up for Villa with a header off a free kick, and then Villa would pick Spurs apart. And their top scorer, Ali Watkins, Ali, touchdown, goal, would win it in the 61st minute. Big day for Ollie's, as we said. Big day for Bro not being here, because he would absolutely have not allowed this. Spurs would have a late goal ruled out for offsides, but too little, too late. Let's keep it going. Brentford 0, Arsenal 1. Little bro, Kai Havertz scored. I know that doesn't mean anything to a lot of people, but bro, Kai Havertz scored. However, a shaky first half from Arsenal goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale nearly cost Arsenal, but Brentford couldn't capitalize, throwing the ball to the other team, completely coming out and misjudging crosses. It was just an awful first half from Aaron Ramsdale. But late in the game, Arsenal would finally get their goal behind a great Kai Havertz header off an amazing ball played in from Bakayoko Saka. Havertz came in the 70th minute, super sub. Arsenal has won a lot of games this year with their super subs. Andrew Straub, where are you? Don't worry, bro. I'll take this one. Newcastle 4, Chelsea 1. Oh, bro, you are lucky you are not here. Alexander Isak would get one early in the 13th minute after some sloppy backline Chelsea play. Normal. Chelsea would then equalize 7 minutes later through a Raheem Sterling free kick. I will give you credit, bro. That was an absolute beautiful free kick. But unfortunately, that was it for the first half, and that was it for Chelsea. A 60-minute Anthony Gordon goal. In the 60th minute, Anthony Gordon would put an amazing cross, and Lascelles would head one in to go up. In the 61st minute, Joe Ellington would take advantage of a Thiago Silva touch and pass that, bro, I can only use one way to describe it, and that would be Harry Maguire-esque. Sorry, man. To make it 3-1, Reece James would then make a silly challenge after giving a ball away, picking up another yellow after he had picked up another stupid yellow for kicking the ball away. 1 yellow plus 1 yellow equals red. You are gone. Anthony Gordon would then cap off an amazing game and get his name on the score sheet 4-1 to Newcastle. Let's get to your game of the week. Another reason that you are glad you're not here, little bro. Manchester United 3, Everton 0. We told you it would be scenes at Goodison Park, and it was absolutely scenes because of the point deduction. These fans were on fire. They printed out Premier League corrupt signs. The Premier League wouldn't even zoom in and show in on them. It was amazing. And it ended as quickly as it started. The goal of the season, the goal of the year, the goal of Premier League history, the goal of the world, the goal of all goals. In the 3rd minute, Alejandro Garnacho from a Diego Dallo cross. Ball gets played in. It's a bit behind Garnacho. A bicycle kick, a wonder kick, the most amazing goal from a good amount of distance that you will ever see. This is not bias. I wish he was here because he'd be having his hands in his face, shaking his head, going, I know, bro. It was really amazing. Yeah, you're damn right it was amazing. And if you haven't, take your phone, okay, side box us while we're playing and just Google Alejandro Garnacho, Man United, goal. Wait till we're done, but do it. It's the best time you'll have absolutely all night. And the best part of it, he hits the Ronaldo Sue after. Quiet. Love this kid. Love this kid. That wasn't it, though. Marcus Rashford would put away a penalty that Anthony Martial had earned. After he was initially booked for diving, VAR went back and rightfully reversed the decision to a penalty kick. And then Anthony Martial would finally get his own goal behind a beautiful ball played in from Bruno Fernandes. United get all 3 points. Yeah. And in our last game, the big one, the heavyweights. Manchester City 1, Liverpool 1. Erling Haaland again scores early. Slots one home as Ake made just a great run and assist. But we've got to talk about Erling Haaland again. 50 goals in 48 appearances. Yeah, just letting that sit there. We don't give enough credit to this guy, and I wish Bro was here for this one too, not to make fun of, because to give some perspective here. He plays for Manchester City. There's with everything that's going on with Manchester City and the allegations and things, we don't give a lot of their players a lot of credit, but Erling Haaland is just, what he's doing is phenomenal. And a lot of people to the generic soccer mind know Kylian Mbappe, maybe, you know your mess. Listen, Erling Haaland, get to know that name. Okay. It's all the shine I'm giving a Manchester City player. Okay. City would have one called back for a foul after that goal. Haaland would have one saved from point blank range as well. Thought he would finish it, but Trent Alexander-Arnold would equalize in the 80th minute with a beautiful first touch and a peach of a finish into the back of the net, and the game would finish at 1-1. Are Liverpool for real? This was a big step in the yes direction. A big, major step in the yes direction. Halftime subs improved this Liverpool side. 5 subs total for Liverpool, 0 for Manchester City. Tired legs in the 80th minute, maybe. City dealing with some injury issues, though. It kind of showed. Jack Grealish, Kevin De Bruyne, John Stones, Mateo Kovacic, excuse me, Nunez, all hurt. This is where I'm going to be honest with you, though. No one is going to give City any, you have injuries. So what? You also have the biggest payroll in the world. Play some of the guys that you don't play, though, like the rest of us have to. So, and that's your English Premier League review of the week. Getting a little sing-songy on you there. Now, we reviewed. Let's preview. And switch it up. Boom. Let's preview it. Yes. Big slate of games this week. We don't have any international break for a while, so we get to dive in here. And that would be Brentford versus Luton Town. 11th versus 17th, as Luton look to keep above the relegation fire, and Brentford look to stay mid. Drew loves when I say things like that. Brentford looking real mid. Look out for Luton. I like Luton here. After their first win, I like Luton to keep that momentum rolling. Burnley versus Sheffield United. Lonely bottom of the table. Burnley take on 1 point above them. Sheffield United. This is a relegation 6-pointer, baby. This will be a great game, I promise you. 100% promise you this will be a great game because this game will mean so much to both of these teams. They need 3 points, each of them. Bad. I like Sheffield United here, and I also think it's fair, and I'll ask Drew this next week depending on the game. I think it's fair to ask when Burnley coach Vincent Kompany when his job is going to be on the line. I know he brought them up. I know they ran away with the championship last year. You're not in the championship anymore. I think it's time to step up. Let's keep going. Bournemouth versus Aston Villa. 4th place, Aston Villa. Take on 16th place, Bournemouth. Both fresh off some big wins and both winners of 2 in a row. But I don't think this is going to matter. Aston Villa coach Unai Emery, masterclass. I think Villa run away with this and take away all 3 points. Come on, bros. Keep it going. West Ham versus Crystal Palace. 9th place and 20-point West Ham versus 13th and 15-point Crystal Palace. Hammers winner of 2 in a row. Crystal Palace losers of 2 in a row. Yeah. So you know what I'm going to say. I like West Ham here more. I really do. I think this will be a multi-goal game, though. I think this will be one of the ones we come back where it's a 3-2, it's a 4-2, something along that lines. Let's keep it going. Nottingham Forest versus Everton. 15th place Forest, 19th place Everton. Almost all of us are rooting for Everton now. And I know it's hard because there's some natural soccer rivalries. Excuse me. This guy called the Villa win. All you. Be here if you want to give your chest pumps, okay, my guy? All right? Now go study. But I think we're all rooting for Everton here for most of us, okay? I am, okay? Now, depending on the result of the Sheffield-Burnley game above them, Everton could vault 2 points clear of both of them and within 2 points of Luton Town for safety. Ideally, we would want Luton Town and Everton to stay up, but that means 2 people got to drop. So we'll see. Let's get to another big one. Liverpool and Fulham, 3rd top Liverpool. Honestly, should handle this game no problem and take care of 14th place Fulham and continue to fight for their title. As should the next game. Arsenal versus Wolves, same here. Arsenal should handle 12th place Wolves and remain in first with no issue. Liverpool, Arsenal, big. Parlay, possibly coming. Stick in there. Hey, bro. Chelsea versus Brighton. Little bro's team looks to bounce back, and they get a Brighton team who finally won a game after 3 straight draws and a loss. Keep it short and sweet for you, bro. Your Blues are you're gonna concede one, okay? But then I think you're going to absolutely destroy. I'm looking at 3-1. I'm thinking 4-1 in Little Bro's favor. Don't say anything nice about your team. There you go. There you go. The man is here. Excuse me. A big one. Manchester United versus Newcastle. 6th in the table versus 7th in the table. A huge atmosphere after disappointing Champions League matches for both of these squads. This will be a good one. Newcastle have been up and down in league form lately. We have talked about that. Some tough decisions went against their way in the Champions League this week. Manchester United, 3-3 draw this week in the Champions League. Results going their way in the Premier League. Some injuries have mounted up for both teams. I think this is going to be an open game. I think this is going to be a big back and forth game. Of course, I think Manchester United is going to win it. Get out of here. Come on. Red's big. And speaking of big games, our biggest game. Manchester City versus Tottenham. Like I said, another big one. City look to keep pace in the title race. Huh? Yes, I just said that. Manchester City look to keep pace in the title race because they're not top. Spurs look to not get run off the pitch. Let's be honest. Look for Spurs to try to counter the counter in possession of Manchester City and try to catch them off guard. Spurs, depending on some results here, could drop all the way down to 6th. And City could go top or joint top of the Premier League if Arsenal were to drop any points at Wolves. Now, I don't got a graphic for it. Write this down in your phone real quick. If you want a quick parlay, you want a nice soccer one, take Arsenal, take Chelsea, take Liverpool, take Manchester City, take them all to win, plus 263. Don't say I didn't do anything for you. Just saying. Now, I know he's not here. So I know the first thing that everybody thought at the intro. Well, Ken, but you don't do this segment. So if Andrew's not here, we can't have it, right? Please. My man hooked me up. Ladies and gentlemen, you're Americans abroad. We had some Americans do some big stuff this week. First, Florian Balogun, a goal in Monaco's 5-2 loss against PSG. Christian Pulisic, Captain America, returned to action for Milan and played 66 minutes in their 1-0 win. Malik Tillman, an assist and a substitute appearance for PSV as they won 3-0. Gabriel Slonina conceded 2 goals but saved 7 in Juventus 2-0 loss. Tanner Tessman. Yeah, keep an eye on this name right now. Another goal and another assist and another man of the match performance in Valencia's 3-0 win as they moved into first place in the Italian second division, looking for promotion. And as we talk about Valencia every week, we tell you, Google their uniforms. They're the prettiest ever. Both Italian hands for that one. Just letting you know. I'm allowed to do that. I'm Italian. We're not done. Johnny Cardoso, a great performance for Internacional as they won 1-0 in his return from injury. Julian Green, yeah, some love to the old men. Julian Green, an assist and a man of the match performance as Gruther first 2-0 win in Germany's second division. I already know I butchered that name. I apologize. And Ton Robinson, an assist and a good performance for Wolves. In Fulham's 3-2 performance against Wolves. Hold on, little bro. And the big 2. Serginho Dest, fresh off his red card in the United States Women's National Team jersey, an assist in their Champions League win. And Ricardo Pepi, the game-winning goal for PSV in the Champions League. Shout out to our Americans. Getting it done as always. Man, this has been a fun one. I absolutely loved running through this one by myself. Not because I don't love having little bro with me. No, we're not talking about the Big 12 championship game. Straub Bro Sports Show. This has been a great one. I absolutely loved it. I absolutely enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm already throwing notes out of the way and tossing it. Thank you so much for being with me today. I was able to kind of run through this solo, which technically was the original outline for the podcast. But once little bro came on with me for the first episode, I mean, come on now. It's me and him sitting on the couch talking sports. Of course, we're going to put that in the podcast form for you. So, hey, appreciate you, mama. As always, love you. Little bro, I know you're in the comments. I've wrote it in there. I'm going to say it to you I said it to you at the beginning. I'll say it to you at the end. I know you're studying for finals. I know you have finals next week. Everyone on the pod and everyone at the pod and the 216 Sports Network is rooting for you. Take them serious. I already know you would. Go knock them out the park. I already know you will. Okay? You can do this. You're a Straub. You already know. Now, 216 Sports Network. Check us out. The Ruler's Minute with Rico McGee. 500th episode. Coming very soon. I've teased it. It's in the works officially. It is coming to you. But go check out all of Rico's stuff. Go check out. You already know, big guy. Go check out Rico's stuff. Go check out the Sports Minute. You already know. Crunch Time with Ken and Mel. First episode dropping soon. I am so excited for that to come. The 216 Sports Network Facebook and YouTube page. That is where you can find us. And yes, as Pop said, you better hit them books. The 216 Sports Network Facebook page. Like, follow, check us out there. The 216 Sports Network YouTube page. Find us, subscribe. Please, please, please. We're up over 660 subscribers. Yes. Almost 1,000 people tune into the 216 Sports Network to see the likes of me, to see the likes of Mel, to see the likes of Rico, to see Little Bro, to see Jay coming soon. Don't stop checking us out. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Straub Bros Sports Show. Andrew Straub, I am Ken Straub, and you already know. As always, love yours.